Hello, I'm John Britt. We're going to make a little bottle today. I saw these at a store. They're old beer bottles from, I don't know, the 30s or something, and they had a little lid that you screwed on there. It's all made out of metal, but I thought I'd try to make it out of ceramic. And so what I've decided to do is make it into three parts. I'm going to make like a lidded jar shape. I'm going to make a little funnel that's going to fit on there. And then I'm going to put a little threaded doodaub on top of that. So let's start by doing this threaded thing. I got this from Axner. It's a little mold you can press clay into and it'll make a threaded thing. So you just take some clay, smash it in there. And I usually will just cut this off a little. Okay, and then you're going to let that sit. And it'll get stiff, and then you can unscrew it. That's how you get it out. And then you'll have little blanks like this. And I usually keep them in. I have a plaster that I've poured into the bottom of a Tupperware, and I keep them in there, and that keeps everything wet. Okay. Then when you get that complete, when you get that done, you will have to either take this tool and make a hole in there, or just use a fettling knife and you can just cut a hole out like that. Okay, but we'll do that in a minute. While that's sitting up, I'm going to show how to make the lidded jar. Okay, so I'll take about, in this case I have about a pound of clay, and the thing that I'm going to use is I have a squared up rib that I'm going to use to make the flange. Okay, that will center as always. Cone maybe a little. And I set my base. And I'm gonna leave this just like when I made the tumblers. I left about a 3/8 or a quarter at the bottom, so it would just pop off and be a smooth bottom of these plastic bats. So I established my smooth bottom. Now when I do the pull, I'm going to leave this rim kind of fat because that's where my flange is going to go. So we'll do another pull here and we'll be about done. You know, so you're going to use more or less clay depending on the proportion of the bottle you want. So I'm going to clean that up, and then I'm going to take a rib like this to give me some straight sides and make it look like a can. That's basically it. Then I will take my flange tool and I'm just going to hold it on both sides and just lay that in there. Now, this is the same way you'd make like a lidded jar, but I'm just doing that to set the V funnel shape on top of. Okay, so now I'm going to get another piece of clay. I would let that sit up for a while and get me another piece of clay. And this one really can be very small because I'm just going to make a small V. Now, one thing I have to do is I have to measure the size of that. So get that centered, and I will grab my calipers. And so I'm going to take these calipers, I'm going to measure the size of the flange, and then I'm ready to go. So I'll do a pull on this. I can go all the way to the wheel head because I'm going to have, it's going to be an opening. And then I will just form my V shape. And then I will, at some point, like measure this. See, I need a little bit more. And on my final, when I'm using this rib, I'm going to just lay this down a little. Until I get about the size. That's about right. Okay, so then I would set that aside. Now we're going to go over to the table here, and I'll show you how we'll assemble these. So what I would do would be, I would take this piece that's dried a little, and I'd put this on and trim it. So it's like this piece. Nice and trimmed, and I'll cut out my screw top and put it like that. And then what I'm going to do is score a little bit. I'm going to score this a little. I just usually dip my tool in a little water to moisten it up. And then what I'll do is I have some deflocculated slip in this tube. And this squirter, this is a tint and toner bottle. And I'll put that on there like, sort of like glue. Get that set where I want it. Then I'm going to find the jar that this will fit on. I believe it's this one. And then what I do is I just put more of the goo on there, so it's just like it's just slip. And I could score this to make it good or not, depending. And then I set that on there and clean it up a little bit later, and then that'll be my little jar, my little bottle. All right, thank you.